Hello, it's me again. Are you tired of seeing my face yet? So here's the deal. If the title of the video didn't give it away, I recently had a Christmas craft/crochet market. And today, I'm going to show you the pure chaos of said market. Now, normally I start prepping for the market way sooner than I did. I kind of waited till the last month to get everything done. But we eventually got it done. First off, I want to say that it was a complete success and I made more money than I was hoping for. I reached the point where I had paid off all of the material cost and market table costs, which was like $35 for the table. And then, I don't know, it's kind of hard to calculate material cost when you're dealing with Amigurumi because you'd have to calculate how much yarn you used, and that's really difficult. So I kind of just give a general amount to it. And no, I'm not sitting in the chair. I'm sitting on the chair because if I was sitting in the chair, you wouldn't be able to see my face over the plant. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the market. My attention span is like, yeah, there's really not that much to say. There wasn't that much footage of me making things. Again, I apologize for the lack of footage in this video. I always have a lack of footage. I am going to try and do better from here on out and have more footage and less filler footage.
My dog is staring at me because he wants to go to the bathroom.
Can you take Broccoli to the bathroom? Let me show you how the process went and how everything generally went. Let's get started. Actually, there's more. So, just a little bit of context. This is a munchkin market. It's for kids and teens to sell their homemade items. So there were, of course, some stipulations. It had to have been made by you, and you had to be a child. But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. Now we can get to the video. The first thing I started on were all the sea turtle heads, but then we had to take some breaks for renovations.
Bro, EJ!
What are you gonna do?
Bro, EJ! Yes, sir! Hi!
But the most non-functional. It's not very functional. You can't put anything in it, and the drawer is sealed closed. But it's really pretty. Project in progress. I apologize for the detour. Back to the market. Then I decided to tackle the mini bunnies in overalls, my favorite project. Can we talk about the fact that every time I seem to go outside and dance, my neighbors have some kind of construction going on in the background? What is up with that? I'm sorry, more detouring. Before I knew it, it was Thanksgiving and it was time for some of the typical family chaos. It is November 28th. Market is in about 6 or 7 days, something like that. And here's what I have so far. I have 4 of these. I have these 2, this one. That's these. I have 3 of these guys and 1 of these. I have 1 puppy and 1.5 of these. I have a snake, an unfinished carrot cake, and then I have 2 bunnies with overalls. I have this one, and I have this one. But yes, I do have this, which is a ferret, as you can see. I currently have a red panda and then a purple red panda, both without legs. And this thing, don't ask me what it is, I don't really know. And I have 3 sea turtles currently. And I am going to make 7 more because I want to have 10. Because I really want to have a big selection of these this time because I had 5 last time. And they sold within the first 30 minutes. I had them at $2, so that's probably why. I'm going to bump them up to $3 this time because I think that's still fair. I mean, it's the size of my hand. And then these. These are my mini bunnies with overalls. I made them in every bunny color I could think of. So I made 5 more. And none of these have ears yet because the ears are the things that take the longest, so I just put that off for the end. We always decorate our tree the day after Thanksgiving, so I had to tackle that the next night.
They have all kinds of pies and cakes.
I find that strange they did that because
And this is just a funny clip. I was planning on doing a transition to make one of these into 2, but I never filmed the other one, so you're just gonna have to watch me look like a complete idiot. Baby bunnies! Look how cute they are! I made so many. I made a little too many, but they're so cute. I hope everyone else thinks they're as cute as I think they are. Get the car backed up.
Market day. Edit this part out.
Got the warm tea. We're gonna need it because it is very cold. Last night I did make 2 more turtles and I sewed the button on the cloak. The only thing I did not do yesterday was I did not make any extra things to put in there, but I did everything I was supposed to do, so that's good. That's all I got done. Yay. Let's go.
I'm sending you the picture.
This is the last one, just for the record, permanent record. Now, do you have your permission to be in the
That way you can really see them when you're
video?
working. That's how amazing they
You look amazing.
I think you could text Caitlin and ask her to borrow that tea.
Last hour update. As you can see, I sold a lot, but thankfully there was still more to come. So for the market, I made a really cute spreadsheet with everything, pretty much everything on it. At the last minute, I pulled a bucket out of the top shelf in my closet full of stuff I didn't sell the last market and just added that, but of course that wasn't on the spreadsheet. So there's that. But I was hoping that the spreadsheet would tell me what sold for and for how much. Because just because you had it at that price doesn't mean you would sell it at that price technically. So we have our spreadsheet. Here's what I had, and here's what sold. So first, the ferret. I priced it at $15 and it sold for $15. I had the white dog. That was the literal last thing. Oh, first, I did sell almost completely out of inventory. I only had a few tiny little baby things left, and I think the only big plushie I had left was that white dog. Then I did have the 2 mushroom boys, and one of them did sell for $25. Those were my most expensive items of the day. And then the other one would not sell the whole time. It and the dog were the last ones left. As we were packing up, someone ran up. Like, I was literally carrying it to the car. And they were like, how much for the mushroom? And I was like, $20. And if she hesitated, I was going to totally take it down to 10 or 15. I was like, just take it. But she handed over $20. So I sold that one for $20. And the red panda, it's saying here I sold the red panda. I priced it at $8, which I thought was a little bit expensive. But it did take me a really, really long time to make. So I thought $8 was probably good. I mean, it's bigger than my hand, so. And I sold for $8. It doesn't say that the purple panda sold on here, but I have a hunch that the purple panda did sell, maybe for like $4 to $5. I don't know. The carrot cake, this is my 3rd market, and the carrot cake has been there since the beginning. It has not sold. Everybody who walked up told me how adorable it was and squished it, but not one of them would buy it. It's a carrot cake, okay? Trying to emphasize with the mic in your hand is complex. Then the brown sea turtle, priced at $15 and sold for $15. And then the green bunny in overalls,
My favorite.
I priced it also at $15 and it sold for $15. And the same thing happened with the bunny with the blue overalls. And there was only one bunny, like one of the big bunnies with overalls that didn't sell, and that was the one in green, and it was priced lower than the others at $10. There was the dragon, which I did not show in my little slideshow thing because it wasn't finished, and I finished it literally the day before the market. But I did make it, and it did sell for $12, and I had priced it at $15. Oh, actually, so the first thing that sold, which I thought wasn't going to sell at all, I had thrown this in there. It was a crochet cloak I had started making, but I didn't really like it very much. I didn't like where it was going. And yet it was the very first thing that sold. I was shocked. This girl came up and she wanted the cloak. And I had priced it at $25 and was totally willing to go down on it just because I didn't like it, although the yarn was kind of expensive. So I priced it at $25, and I mean, this was like a cloak. It went down to here. Both sides, it was like sort of like a shawl cloak, and it had a little button on it. It was cute, and I sold it for $25. Yeah. I don't know if the snake sold. I can go double check. Next were the loaf cats, and I had 4 of those, and I last time I had priced them at $10, so this time I priced them at $11, and 3 of them sold for $11, and 1 of them sold for $10. Then the tiny turtles, I had 10 of those and priced them at $3, and I sold them all at $3. Next were the mini bunnies, and I decided to price these at $4, and I sold. The bunnies were the first thing to sell out. Man, they went fast. Everyone wanted one of those little baby bunnies in overalls. So now I know what makes the money. And it's those little baby bunnies. And they were an original pattern, so I was so glad because I made up that bunny pattern. Just completely freehand, just sat there making the pattern.
But I was so happy because they were so cute.
And I sold them all at $4. So that's $40 made with the little bunnies. And then for the blue sea turtles, it only has 1 marked on here, but I think that's just because I forgot to put the other one. I know for sure I sold 2, maybe 3. I can go double check. And they definitely did not sell at 15, which I had them at. This one sold for 10, the one that's marked on here. So the other one probably also sold for 10. And again, I did have other odds and ends and knickknacks. And you can add up everything that I just said. But again, there was more. And when I came into the car, I was so glad because I had made more than $300 at this market, which was really nice because at the time I was planning on buying all 4 of Sarah Renee Clark's color cubes, which would be like $120 to $130. I eventually talked myself out of it because spending that much money on something just seems, yeah. I'm a very cheap person, okay? Maybe one day I'll get the color cubes. I really want them, but maybe today is just not that day. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the market. Okay. It was a lot of fun. I really get the chance to be the entrepreneur that I know I can be, really let my personality shine, and work on being outgoing and helpful, good customer service, in other words, and be something that is seriously lacking in our society. And hopefully try to be a light in the darkness. I tried in all of those respects, and I hope I succeeded. But now I really know what sells. And people give me different reactions throughout this market. I refused to take Zelle payments or digital anything. I wanted purely cash, and that's because we didn't have it set up, and I just didn't trust it. We had gotten pretty sure we got scammed last time. I don't trust it. I don't like it. I like cold hard cash. And people were so shocked when I would tell them. They'd say, "Do you take Zelle payments?" Or I can't remember what the other one was that people kept saying. And I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't. I only take cash." And they were actually shocked. I remember one couple, their mouths literally dropped open. They were like, I was like, "Why is it so weird to go to a kids' craft market and expect to pay cash? It's not that weird." You do just have to try and let it just go over your head, though. You can't really think too much about it, or you're going to get angry. I'm not going to explain the situation, what happened with one of these ladies, but it did irritate me really bad. I didn't say anything because she bought the mushroom, and that was $25, so I just let it go. And I did lose a few customers because of the thing, and they walked away because they didn't buy anything because they didn't have any cash. Here's the problem with my position at the market. So the logical thing to do at the market would be to start at the back and work your way to the front, because then you've seen everything and you can decide what you'd like to get. The problem is I was stationed at the front, so by the time people got back to me, they didn't have any cash left. So there was that. But anyway, that was the success of my Amigurumi craft market. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you are inspired to go out and create anything. Okay? do it. I was thinking about saying something like super inspirational, but I have nothing. I got nothing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.